What's going on, man? Today we back with another video, bro. We talking about NBA offseason, free agency, trades, where LeBron going, all that, man. It's been a crazy offseason so far. The offseason just started. Man, the offseason just started. It's been crazy. Um, I mean, like, honestly, bro, let's just jump right into it, man. Like, it's not even no point in wasting time. Y'all see what's up there. Y'all see what's up there, man. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown got traded to the Boston Celtics. Nah, excuse me. He got traded from the Boston Celtics to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, two first round picks, two second round picks. 2028 is a first round pick swap, and 2031 is an unprotected first round pick. And I made a Jaylen Brown video a few days ago, and I spoke about it a little bit in that video. I don't like it from Boston side. I love it from Philly side. For Philly, you extend, in my eyes, you extend the championship window for this team. And you extend it for Joel Embiid and post Joel Embiid. Whether he decides to go to another team, you trade him, he retires, he hurt, whatever. The duo of Tyrese Maxey and Jaylen Brown extends your championship for extra, what? He's 29, 4 to 5 years, as long as you stay healthy. Plus, VJ's a rookie, and he's only going to get better. Like, I love it for Philly. And like in the post Joel Embiid, it's also like I'm like Joel Embiid is a top 5 NBA player when healthy. I think we can all agree. So you have a top 5 big man when healthy. You have a player who just finished top 5, top 6 in MVP, and you have an All NBA guard in Tyrese Maxey. Like that is crazy, and you gave up Paul George for it, and two picks that probably won't really be much of value because they'll be back end picks, back end 20 picks, you know? So I like it a lot. I think it fits well. VJ at the 2, him at the 3. It fits well. Uh, that 4 spot is, it could be LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be Dean Wade. And I like Dean Wade a lot. Dean Wade is actually going to come up a little bit later in this video. So, but just like the pieces that build with, like, you have the foundational pieces. And for the next 4 to 5 years, you don't have to worry about that. You could just worry about building around the edges. And that's what I like the most about it for Philly. You have your foundational pieces you can build with, and you just work around the edges. You sign Ant Simons on a 2-year, $13 million deal, offense off the bench. You drafted LeBron at 22, and that was a steal. He was supposed to be going. He could come off the bench. I just like the team. I like the team a lot. Like I said, they got Dean Wade. They have Dominic Barlow. Maybe you can go get a LeBron. I just like how the team is set up right now. I like how it's being ran. The new GM has come in and made the right moves and the correct moves. And I just like it a lot for Philly. Boston, you shit the bed, brother. Brad, you shit the bed, man. Um, from Jaylen Brown being the centerpiece of a Giannis trade to getting basically salary dumped for Paul George, mind you, Philly was trying to salary dump PG, and Jaylen Brown got salary dumped for PG. Just put it in perspective, man. That's crazy, right? But um, but yeah, the centerpiece of Giannis trade to getting traded, and you get Paul George and you get 2 first return is just like the drop off is crazy. And to turn down a trade like a Nas Reed, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, again, it's crazy. It was 2 reports. It was 2 reports. First one, they didn't want to trade him because of Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman. Boy, if Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman are not all stars next year, boy, we got a problem. Boy, we got a problem. Then, right? Then the next one was they didn't do the trade because they didn't want to give Giannis a 3-year max. You're trying to compete for championships. I don't care how the back end of his contract looks. If he got you another ring or another 2 rings because now you have a Giannis and a Jason Tatum duo. You know, and because Paul George doesn't do it, like you genuinely salary dump Jaylen Brown, because right now a 2028 first rounder, a 2031 first rounder doesn't help you right now. Paul George does not help you win a championship. He does not make your team better. And I'm just looking at it face value because I watched the Bill Simmons podcast when his reaction when Jaylen Brown first got traded, and he said that this could be a first trade of another trade. Um, and then it started making a little bit more sense. Trey Murphy has been rumored to be in the Celtics and a few other teams. Um, but as of right now, like that hasn't happened. So I'm just looking at it for what it is right now, just this trade. And right now, it's a bad trade on Celtics part, and they shit at the bed. They shit at the bed. Um, yeah. Next trade. Walker Kessler, man. Walker Kessler got traded to the Lakers for 4 first round picks, 2 swaps, and then just 2 regular standard first round picks, 2031 and 2033. The 2028 and the 2030 are swaps. And then they also gave him a 4-year, $130 million deal. I don't hate the trade. I don't hate the offseason. Like, I don't hate it. And I know I'm in the minority because everybody hates it. I don't hate it. And here's why I don't hate it. Let me know who they could have gotten to be better than these players at that time that were available. I know that was a lot, but just listen to me. Like, okay, you don't want to give Austin Reeves $46 million. Who do you go get that will bring you the same level of production for Austin Reeves that was available? You don't like Walker Kessler. Cool. Who do you go get that will give you the production Walker Kessler will get you that is available? Jalen Duren? The Pistons announced a few days ago they're matching anything any team gives Jalen Duren. So you try to give Jalen Duren a contract, and the Pistons match it, and then you let Walker Kessler go sign somewhere else. Now you're shot of luck. Your starting center is Mitchell Robinson, and no disrespect to Mitchell Robinson, but he is a high level 20-minute per game player coming off your bench, not a starting center on a championship team. So for what was available, I think they had a good offseason. I think the problem is one, they don't have athleticism or length, right? They don't have speed, athleticism, or length. That's one. And then two, I think it's because of how fast Rob Pelinka did it. He traded and signed for Walker Kessler, signed Quentin Grimes, signed Sandro, and signed Colin Sexton in 30 minutes. No BS. No bullshit. 30 minutes. So I don't think he allowed fans and people to just like look at it for what it is, dissect it, and like, okay, cool. I can see why they did this. I can see why they did that. It's just like, damn, they just put it all on them. And I mean, that's another thing. I think when you put a lot of things on people, naturally, it can just become overwhelming. And when it becomes overwhelming, your instant thing is like, I don't like it. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to deal with it. And that's exactly what I feel like most people are doing with this off season for the Lakers. But I don't hate it. Probably in the minority. I don't hate it. Um, but speaking of the Lakers, LeBron. LeBron decided that he will test free agency. He will not resign with the Lakers. And um, a few days ago, bro, a whiteboard came out, bro. This is the craziest shit I've seen in my life, bro. My co-host for Stay on That Side pod, Jay, was like, bro, this shit looks like a rollout, an album rollout with a whiteboard, bro. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a Photoshop. But Rich Paul went on his podcast with Max Kellerman, and they made a whiteboard of the teams that LeBron is potentially going to. And the biggest thing that I took away from that, from the whiteboard and from that podcast was that LeBron wants to go somewhere where he's happy. Money is not a thing right now at this point in his career. And so because money isn't a thing at this point in his career, like the teams that's listed, the Knicks, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, Cavs, 76ers, excuse me. LeBron just fits so well in all of them. Like if he's going for a minimum, I can see LeBron in every one of these teams, and they look very nice. And they look very nice. You feel me? So with that being said, it's like, where do you think he's going, and where do you want him to go? Right? Because as of right now, I have no clue what's up in the air. So I can just tell you where I want him to go and where I think he'll go. Um, I want him to go to Denver. I think him with Jokic is like crazy. Him and Jokic in a pick and roll. Both of them dissecting the defense. Oh my goodness. I'm fanboying. I want to see that happen. I want to see that happen. Where do I think he goes? I think he goes to Cleveland. I think it's too storybook. It's too much of like a right thing to do that he just ends up in Cleveland. You know, like third time, this team is we have the piece over him, but we just need that one more piece. Is a hometown kid that one more piece? You know, like it's just too storybook. And if he's doing a documentary too, it's like you're doing a documentary, you at home, you got the family friend. It's just like the home man. I think it's Cleveland, man. Like if I had a pick today, I think it's Cleveland. I would have told you when it first happened that it was probably going to State, but because Golden State can't get like it doesn't seem like they're trading for Anthony Davis. I think Golden State is off the table. I don't know how the relationship is with Pat Riley and LeBron, so I don't really see the Heat. Um, and Braun would be crazy with LaMelo. That would be cool to see. Um, I would probably say it's Cavs 76ers second. 76ers, like he fits in perfectly at that four. He fits in perfectly at that four. That's a nice lineup in Philly. That's a nice lineup in Philly if he goes there. So, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where LeBron goes. I have no clue where he goes right now. It's up in the air, but it will be fun to see where he goes. Um, Another trade that happened, man, was Kawhi. Was Kawhi going back to the six, man? I spelled Kawhi name wrong. Kawhi. Kawhi back in the six, man. Drake got his Crody back. If you know, you know. Um, Clippers get Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2027 first round pick, 2031 first round pick, 2033 first round pick, and two second round picks. So you get three first round picks, Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and 2 seconds for Kawhi Leonard. And I love it on both sides. I love it on the Raptors side because the Raptors probably feel like they were a offensive player away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals. I love Brandon Ingram. I'm actually a Brandon Ingram fan. And I can admit Brandon Ingram had a terrible playoff. He had a terrible playoff. And I think he averaged like 12 points in the playoffs. If you average 20, you beat Cleveland in you beat Cleveland in the first round because it went to 7. And then if you have an offense, because Detroit had no offense, you could potentially beat Detroit in the second round, and now you're in the Eastern Conference Finals going against New York. So with Kawhi, even though he's 35, he's coming off the best year he just had since 2019 when he won a championship for the Raptors. And he's just such a plug-in player for that team. He fits what they want to do and play defense, and the wings being long and being the passing. It just fits so perfectly, but he just also is a machine. That man is a machine on the offensive end of the ball. And Scotty is one of the ones. I like Scotty. I'm not going to say I'm in love with Scotty, but I like Scotty a lot. But the one thing that Scotty is not great at is scoring the offensive ball, at least on the perimeter. Like he is not a perimeter offensive player, and that's nothing wrong with that. But now you go and get that. And another thing that I like is they're going to be crazy defensively, but there there is no night that Kawhi will ever have to guard the best offensive player because you have a Scotty Barnes, you have a CMB, you have a Jamal Shed. So Kawhi can chill on defense, on the defensive end of the ball, and just focus and concentrate more energy to offense. For 95% of the teams that Kawhi has played on, he's been the best offensive player and the best defensive player on his team. So that's exerting a lot of energy. So now that he is on a team where he is not the best defender on that team, so he is like as at this point in his career, Scotty is a better defender than him. He is. He will never have to guard the best offensive player on the other team. He can focus on more energy um, on the offensive side of the ball. And if you're LA, to get what you got back, and there were reports saying that Kawhi would only re-sign long term to the Raptors, so it kind of only meant like he only want to go to Toronto. I feel like you got a good, not a, good, a great return. You got Brandon Ingram, who raises the floor of your team. You got Grady Dick, who is a promising young player. He showed flash. He's just inconsistent. Maybe he can go to LA, new change of scenery. He can put it all together. But you got 3 first round picks, and you got 2 of them unprotected. Revisionist history. In 2019, if you tell any GM that they have the possibility of getting Kawhi Leonard coming off of a championship run and Paul George coming off of a top 3 MVP run, top 3 defensive player of the year run, and I have to give up a young guard and some picks, I'm doing it. Revisionist history. Nobody thought Shea would turn out to be a 2-time MVP and NBA champion. Finals MVP. Revisionist history. Nobody thought one of those first round picks would turn into a Jalen Williams. Revision. Nobody thought like the Kawhi and Paul George thing was not going to work. Nobody thought about it. So for them to recover the way they have, I like it a lot, and they're going into a right direction. You go and get James Harden, and then James Harden is expecting a contract extension. He wants a bag, right? But at the same time, he is 36. The Cavs are in a win mode now. They feel like they're desperate to win. They got to win. And they hit you ring, ring. I give you Darius Garland, 26-year-old point guard for a 36-year-old point guard. Let's do it. Paul George is coming up on free agency. He wants a bag. You don't want to give him the bag. He goes to Philly. You see where Philly is at now, or you see where Philly was at. Great decision not giving him a bag. Kawhi. Paul George is going. James Harden is going. Before you get to Kawhi, Zubac coming off an All-Star year. The team doesn't look like they're really competing for a championship. You know who needs a big man? Pacers. Ring, what you want for Zubac? Let's get that first round pick. Oh, it's a 50-50 chance it conveys. We'll take that chance. Lottery come with the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft. Los Angeles Clippers. You got a top 5 pick for Zubac. Kawhi only wants to sign long term with the Raptors. And you get that. You get this package right here. Revisionist history, right? If they could go back and not make that deal, and they know what happens, they don't make the deal. But for them to recover the way they did, I like it a lot. You got Keaton Wagler at 5. You have a young point guard in Darius Garland. You have a floor raiser in Brandon Ingram. I like, and you're building, you're getting your assets back in picks. I like it a lot. I like what they're doing. You have Hawkins Snyder, if that's how you pronounce his name. Like I like how the Clippers are operating. I like how they're moving. But yeah. Another trade that happened. It was Ja. Actually, hold on. Ja Morant got traded to Portland for Chris Murray and Jeremy Grant. It's a low risk, high reward deal for the Blazers. You give away Jeremy Grant, you give away Chris Murray. I don't like the trade only because I just not sure how it works, fit wise. Like Denny just came off an All-Star year where he had the ball in his hand a lot. Damian Lillard's coming back off of an injury. He's going to want the ball in his hand. You still have Drew Holiday. Scoot Henderson is up for a rookie contract extension. Do you give that to him? But if you don't give that to him, are you going to allow him to prove himself to get a contract extension? But now you have two guards in front of him because they already said John Morant and Damian Lillard are starting with each other. It's just like a lot of confusion going on right now on how it'll work lineup wise. And then you're also having a new coach with Mike Norrie. I don't know. I just don't like it fit wise. I think a new change of scenery was needed for John Morant. I think Portland is the fan base will love John Morant if he can stay on the floor. Um, but yeah, like I said, you gave up Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. You didn't give anything up for John Morant. So like I would do I would have did the trade too if that's all I'm giving up. I'm just not sure how it fits on court, and that's what I don't like about it. On Memphis' side, I'm not mad at what they got back because of the things that they did. Because of the things that they did leading up to it. So if we go to Desmond Bain, right? If we go to Bain, Bain got traded for one, two, three, five first round picks. You got five first round picks back for Desmond Bain. And then you go and you get trade Jaren Jackson. You get three first round picks for Jaren Jackson. So you went and got what, eight first round picks? You get eight first round picks between two players. So you got your value. You got your trade value in the previous two trades. So then when you do trade John Morant, whose value is at an all-time low, it looks bad when you put it in a grand scheme of things. It's not terrible because you got eight first round picks from two other players. You know what I'm saying? So the way that they moved on this retooling and new transition into a different team, I like how Memphis did it. I like how Memphis did it a lot. Um, yeah. Uh, but like just this overall, I just want to see how it fits. I'm interested to see how it fits. So I just like, you know, I'm indifferent on it right now. I'm indifferent on it right now. Some of my favorite free agency signings that not a lot of people are talking about. Um, the first one I see on here is John Collins. John Collins signed a 3-year, $51 million deal with the Detroit Pistons, and I like it a lot. Um, Let me see the stat. Pull the stats right here. He averaged 13 points, 55% from the field, 40% from three. Since he left Atlanta, I think he's kind of gotten lost in like the NBA lore. Like, when's the last time I heard of John Collins? Yeah, probably the last thing I probably remember about John Collins is him getting banged on by Anthony Edwards, or the dunk contest. But while people have forgot about John Collins, he's been in Utah where Utah was bad, and he was in the Clippers, and they started off so bad, and they were just always playing catch up that nobody was really worried about John Collins. But him on the Pistons, I like a lot because it adds just more shooting and more offensive options to Cade. I mean, for Cade to have. Like, they won 60 games last year and literally had no offense outside of Cade Cunningham. No offense. John Collins is a big body who will be able to um, space the floor 40% from three. And at this point, it's looking like it's a trend. He had 1 year where he shot 29% from the three, but other than that, he's been an above league average shooter. So at this point, he is a consistent 3-point shooter. He plays games. He'll be available. He plays 69, plays 68, plays 71. He had a year in there where he played 40, but other than that, like he'll play basketball, and then I feel like he can lock in defensively if you need, like get him locked in defensively, and also he's another rebounder. Like he averaged 5 last year, but other than that, 8, 7.8. He had a year where he averaged 10. Like so, as a quality role player who can space the floor, bring some offense for Cade, bring like I like it a lot. I like it a lot for the Pistons. I like it a lot for John Collins. I think he's in a good spot where he can really show how valuable he is and how like and that he could be he could be a quality role player on a team trying to compete for a championship. So I like that a lot. Um, another move that I like was Dean Wade. Dean Wade to pull that up. Yeah. So I like Dean Wade to the 76ers a lot. So right now that fourth spot is kind of in the air. We don't like it. Could be Dean Wade. It could be Dominic Barlow. It could be LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, Dean Wade is giving you, you see, a solid 20 minutes a night. A solid defense, good defense. He'll knock down his shots. Like, he's just giving you good minutes, and that's what you need. Like, the teams who are competing for championships and winning championships, they have players who can come in the game for 20 minutes and be effective in those 20 minutes. And that's exactly what Dean Wade can be. When Dean Wade was in Cleveland, he was guarding damn near their best, all the other team's best offensive player, and he was giving you solid minutes. And with a team this loaded offensively with Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Simons coming off the bench to score the ball, LeBron was able to score the ball in college. You just need players who are okay with playing their role and playing their role at a high level. That's exactly what Dean Wade does. And I love the spot for him in Philly, and I think Philly will love him because he's just gonna come in, put his hard hat on, and work and earn everything he gets. So I love it for Philly. I love this signing for Philly. I love the signing for Dean Wade. I think they will love their marriage together. Um I have one more in here that I like a lot. Where are you at, Luke Kennard? So, Luke Kennard, man. I like Luke Kennard. I like the Luke Kennard sign. Luke Kennard signed for what? A 2-year deal, um, for I think 13 million. 2-year, $13 million contract. Yeah, right here. 2-year, $13 million contract. And I like this signing because the I like the overall team that is the Phoenix Suns. You traded for Miles Bridges, you gave up Royce O'Neal, and you gave up Grayson Allen. Um, Miles Bridges and Royce O'Neal are not the same player, but overall, Miles Bridges is a better player. And then you gave up a shooter, but um you got back Luke Kennard though, you know. So I really like this move, and Luke Kennard is a 47% 3-point shooter. I like the move for the Suns because the Suns just look like they look like that one team in college who has like this one star who's really not supposed to be there for real. He's just loyal. Like he blew up his freshman year. He decided to come back his sophomore year where he could have either transferred or hit the draft. And then you have this fourth year senior who's a knockdown shooter. You have this junior who's super athletic and super talented. He just got to figure out how to stay in the corner like a Mark Williams. Like it's just like this. It's just a well constructed team, and you have the fifth year point guard who can just control the offensive Colin Gillespie. Like, it's a good built team, and I like it. I like it a lot, and I think because you traded Grayson Allen, you had to get another knockdown shooter on your team to continue to space the floor and give the mid and let the mid range be open um for Devin Booker to work. You going out and get Luke Kennard, you get him for $6 million a year, and then Miles Bridges is able to stretch the floor and knock down threes, and he's also able to put pressure on the rim. Um, I just like the team, man. I like the team how it's built. Colin Gillespie is a steady guard who will make sure they get into what they get into. Um, but yeah, man, like I think um looking through the rest of these, like I like Ed Simons to the 76ers. They get another scoring punch. I like Tim Hardaway to Miami. They get some much needed shooting to that team. Uh Marvin Bagley. I like Marvin Bagley to the Denver Nuggets a lot. A backup four who's a skilled four who can give you quality minutes from like Aaron Gordon is on the bench, or if Aaron Gordon gets injured, I think he could fit into the starting lineup and play really good minutes for the Denver Nuggets. So yeah, man, that's the video, man. That's my thoughts. I try to keep it short. We ended up going for like 30 minutes. But yeah, man, the NBA is been going crazy. It's still so much more that we got to figure out. Like, just Jaylen Brown resign? Does he get his bag? Does he go somewhere else? Where's LeBron going? Is there any more surprise trades? Like Miami, what are you doing to get some more help for Giannis? Uh, we ain't even talk about Giannis shit because it happened so long ago. But yeah, man, like I think we're far from done. We're far from done. I'm excited. I appreciate the support. Continue to watch. Y'all let me know y'all favorite moves. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the trades in the comments. Like, subscribe. I'm out.